Today I'm going to show you how to play our board game, Expedition. Now this is a very interesting board game because not only is it great fun to play, but while you're playing you also get to learn about the ecosystem and why it is so important for the well-being of planet Earth. So let's quickly see how to set up the game and play this extremely fun and engaging educational board game. So this is how the game looks when you set it up. We've obviously got this board which is in the form of a jigsaw puzzle. And we've got this helpful diagram in the box that shows you how to set this board up. Apart from that, we've got the rules that show us how the game is to be played. This is something which is very helpful and it would be a good idea to hang on to it while you're playing the game. Obviously today I'm going to show you how to play the game, but otherwise if you get stuck anywhere, this is very handy to help you move ahead. There are 6 player avatars which are characters from Biplob's world. So we've got Avantika, Addy, Spot the Leopard, Karini, Farmer Balram and my favorite Farmer Jaggu. Today we're going to play only with 2 players, although you can play up to 6 people at any given point in time. But for this demonstration we'll stick to a 2-player game. Then you shuffle them and place them face down, easily, handy and accessible to all the players. And we've got these impact cards or these climate change impact cards, which also you need to shuffle, which are done, and you place them face down. So today, since we're going to play only with 2 players, let's move the rest of these guys out of the way and let's quickly see how the game is played. The objective of this game is for you to get to the 100-kilometer mark or to the North Pole and be the first one to get there. As you can see, the board has got numbers on it from 1 to 100. So you go around the Arctic Circle and be the first one to get to the 100-kilometer mark. Along the way, there are some obstacles which you will encounter, like blizzards or an avalanche, ice melt or heavy fog. If and when you get to one of these, you will need to pick up a climate change impact card and follow the instructions there. Now, how do you move across the board? It's very simple. Players choose who goes first and the order that they go in. It doesn't matter who goes first and who goes last because that has got very little or no impact on the outcome of the game. Once you've chosen who goes first, the player who's going first picks up a card from the top of this deck and follows the instruction. Before we start, let me show you what are these special cards about. Obviously, there are 62 cards in it, like I said, but it's got 3 different types of cards. One are your regular cards that help you move forward or behind, and there are 2 cards which are your power cards. One is a super power card. There are 3 such cards in the deck. And there are 7 power cards. These cards help you negate the impact of a negative card. And I'll explain to you in the game how that happens. So let's once again quickly shuffle the deck and start playing the game. So let's assume between Avantika and, I got Aditya. Let me get him out of the way and let's get Farmer Jaggu, my favorite character. So Avantika goes first. And obviously she picks up the card and it says here, let me just read this out. You've just discovered that here you are. So here's a card that says, you've just discovered that the cute little Wolverine is actually not from the wolf family. And that is such interesting news. We've obviously all seen the movie and love the character. But even I didn't know that the Wolverine is actually not from the wolf family. He is from the weasel family. So since you've discovered this cool and exciting fact, like it says here, you move ahead 5 kilometers. So all Avantika needs to do is move 3, 4, 5 spots on the board and get to state number 5. Once this card has been played, place it face down on the side. Farmer Jaggu likewise in his turn picks up a card and it says over here that the fact that lemmings jump off a cliff and commit suicide is actually a myth and it is not true. Now that he's discovered this very interesting fact, he moves ahead 7 kilometers. But beware, because on the 7-kilometer mark, Farmer Jaggu encounters heavy fog. Now what happens when you get to one of these spots on the board? Like I said, once you get here, Farmer Jaggu will have to pick up a climate change impact card like the one it says over here. Now, one of the dangerous impacts of climate change is that the Arctic ice is melting at an alarming rate. and this will cause a lot of leading cities across the globe to be submerged in the next 25 to 30 years. So Farmer Jaggu unfortunately has to go back 7 kilometers. Once you're done with this, the card goes right down to the bottom of the deck again. And Farmer Jaggu goes back to the 1 kilometer mark. Coming back to Avantika's turn again, it says that caribous are eating grass which is contaminated, and when the polar bears in their turn hunt these caribous, they unfortunately get poisoned, which is a very sad impact of human-induced pollution on the Arctic environment, and Avantika, because of that, has to go back 6 kilometers. But since she's on the 5 kilometer mark, she goes all the way back to 0. Now during the game, it is very possible, and I'm going to place this card here. During the game, it's very possible that right at the beginning, you get a negative impact card, even while you're at the 0 kilometer mark. Don't worry, all you need to do is ignore the instructions which are written on the card because you've not even begun the game, and place that card face down, and the next player then picks up the next card. Now what happens when you get, let us say, one of the power cards? Let's say, for instance, moving the game ahead, Jaggu is at the 85 kilometer mark and say Avantika is at the 60 kilometer mark. Now Avantika in her turn, let's say, gets this superpower card, which says here that the bowhead whale has got the superpower to hammer its way through extremely thick slabs of ice. And because she's got that superpower, she can transfer the effect of the impact card to the leading player. Which means during the course of the game, let's assume Avantika comes on that ice melt spot or at an avalanche spot on the 83 kilometer mark, and she has to draw an impact card from this deck, which says that summertime in the Arctic Circle is disappearing, and this is causing the global temperatures to rise during the summers. Hence, she has to miss the next turn. At that point, Avantika can use her superpower card. Rather than bearing the impact of this card, which obviously goes back to the bottom of the deck after she's played, Avantika can draw out her superpower card and play that card to avoid missing her turn. Or if she's got a superpower, which let us say I'm just going to pick up till I get to the next superpower card and show you what else these cards can do. Right. So I've got these two power cards here to give you an idea of what these cards can help you do. So for instance, let's say we've got these two power cards. So this is not a superpower, it's a simple power card. These power cards help you negate the impact of a negative card. So if you've drawn these cards at any time during the game, you don't need to play these cards, you can hold on to them. So the player who's drawn these places this card before them face down, and if they happen to draw a negative impact card, they can play these power cards. And when I say play these power cards, you play them on the board. Once every other player has seen that you have followed the instruction which is there on the power card, it goes back in the deck of the discarded cards. So that's how the game proceeds till we have one or more players getting to the 100 kilometer mark. Obviously, if 6 people are playing and one person gets to the 100 kilometer mark, you can choose the game to be over and that person is declared the winner, or you can continue playing the game till player number 2, 3, 4 and 5 also get to the 100 kilometer mark, leaving just one person who's not won. While playing, if you find that all your expedition cards are exhausted and you've used them up, simply collect the discarded cards from this side of the pile, shuffle them, place them back and continue the game. So that's how you play the Arctic Expedition game, or the tip in this game which I did mention when I was showing you how to play the game. If you manage to get a power card or a superpower card, don't use it immediately. Hang on to it, just place it before you, and at the right time use that card to get out of a tough spot and make sure that you win the game. Like I said at the beginning of this video, not only is this game great fun to play, but you also get to learn about the Arctic ecosystem. But that's not all. Apart from the expedition, Amazonian rainforest version, we've got a lot of other ecosystems that we are designing these games on, which will help you not just have hours of fun as a family together, but also learn about all the beautiful ecosystems that go to make planet Earth, the lovely place that it is. So I hope you have as much fun playing these games as we did in designing them, and we'll meet again in our next video. Thank you.